There's another intangible that I want to talk about. It's not a physical skill set like speed, which we talked about yesterday. By the way, hit that subscribe button and notification. So if you want to be fed in on everything that happens this offseason, you'll be able to do that. If you do that, I'm going to be feeding you on everything, as you know. So, this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Always take a look in the description for videos that I put up recently as well. But this intangible is hustle. And it's something that the Yankees have lacked as well. And again, hustle and speed complement each other so well that they can be so influential in helping teams win games, but they could also be very influential in helping them lose games or costing teams games, I should say. And hustle tends to be a little bit more, lack of it tends to be very evident. And I'll give you two examples: Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres. They've had so many mental lapses because of lack of hustle that have cost them, on bases or runs or whatnot. It could have cost them games or whatever. But it's the difference between, grounding into a double play and running it out, and versus not running it out. Hustle can help. Even if you get on base a little bit more often, whatever it is, and let the big bats behind you drive you in or move you over, or whatever it is. And running out a double play is a huge thing. Stealing a base is a huge thing. And I'll give you one example of hustle, and I'll never forget this example. In Game 6 of the World Series in 1996, when the Yankees were playing the Atlanta Braves, Joe Girardi hit a triple off of Greg Maddux. And if you don't remember, please watch the video. Just go to YouTube and put in Joe Girardi triple off Greg Maddux. And you will see this man. He wasn't always the fastest guy, but he exemplified the exact type of hustle that I think needs to be brought here on this team, on the Yankees team. And he ran, and I don't know how I didn't time it with a stopwatch, but it looked like he was being chased by about 7 werewolves and about 5 grizzly bears. He ran so fast from home plate to third base, and you could just see, you saw his teeth, you saw boogers flying out. It was phenomenal. But that was the example of hustling to help your team win a game, to help them win a damn World Series. And I will never forget that play ever in my life. And so, I'm very thankful for that, when Joe Girardi was playing with the Yankees here. And that's the type of intangible that this team needs to get back, because they've been lacking that for quite a while. And you don't need the fastest guys in baseball to do it. Joe Girardi wasn't one of the fastest guys in baseball, but he hustled, and at that point, he looked like one of the fastest guys in the world. He looked like Usain Bolt. He was running so fast around the bases, and he wanted that bag. He wanted that third base, okay? And he wound up being driven in, I think, if I remember correctly, by Derek Jeter, I think, or Paul O'Neill. That was, again, a play I'll never forget. And these are the types of plays you never forget. And the Yankees just got rid of some guys like Greg Allen and Andrew Velasquez. Those guys hustled. They were fast too, but they hustled, man. They ran stuff out. Derek Jeter always ran stuff out. And, they're lacking that particular intangible right now, which is another intangible valuable to winning long term, okay, going deep into a season. So, and again, it's similar to speed, but it's different than speed as well, because the fastest guys cannot hustle, and it can cost them games, but the slowest guys can hustle, and it can win them games. So they are directly tied to each other, and they're also kind of not tied to each other in such a way that either one is very influential in a win and a loss. So, but it's an important intangible. Again, I wanted to just talk about a little bit. And you let me know who you think are. Some of those hustle guys, like Chris Taylor is a free agent. He's a hustle guy. Eddie Rosario, big-time hustle guy. Some of these guys are free agents right now. Those guys run their asses off. And those are the types of guys I think will be valuable pieces to bring here. And it's also a good intangible for some of the older guys to use, as an example, to show the younger guys how it's done. And again, if you want to, see hustle all the time, just watch the Yankees AA players and AAA players. They're so hungry to get up here that these guys are hustling and stealing bases and doing everything they possibly can to help their team win a game. And that's the same mentality as we need up here. We can't let $1 million contracts all of a sudden stop these guys from hustling. Derek Jeter never stopped hustling. He hustled until the very end. And that's the type of stuff is we need here. And I got to credit Gio Urshela, because that one play he made towards the end of the season where he caught that ball and flew into the dugout, that was hustle. That was hustle. Sacrificed himself. He made that freaking catch. And that's another one I'll never forget. But that one and Joe Girardi's triple, man, that was an epic play right there. And that was the very definition of hustle and grit. So let's get into this, guys. Let's talk about it.